Hello everybody, this is Maciej Gawroński, author of the Guide to the Gdpr. Irish Data Protection Authority has issued clarifications relating to compliance of Christmas with the Gdpr. There are some fun facts, or actually more fun things there, but there are also some serious things there, and the one which I would like to discuss here from a serious perspective, this is legality of sending Christmas wishes by a business organization. What the Irish Data Protection Authority says, they say that you don't necessarily need to have consent for such communication. You, from a data protection perspective, you are allowed to send and to wish Merry Christmas to your business contacts because you may rely on a legitimate interest. At the same time, however, if you like to send, instead of a proper paper postcard, an electronic card, for instance, because you like to spare some money, give it to charity, then you might be blocked from doing that if you don't have a consent, an opt-in for electronic marketing communication. Is this correct? From a purely formal perspective, this is a correct statement. However, it generates and brings to the mind several important questions which I would like to try to address. First is in which situations sending this e-card is forbidden, where it is allowed, and where it is not allowed but permissible. That would lead us to discussing proportionality, non-existing in the GDPR. And from there, we would also like to talk a little about trust, whether we should trust the tradition. The answer is no. Are we really not allowed to send electronic cards, electronic Christmas wishes to our business contacts? From a purely formal perspective, it carries a lot of marketing communication or marketing value, how to say. So this is a marketing communication. So indeed, it's a direct marketing, and sending direct marketing through electronic means, which is either email or other direct message or calling by the phone, is regulated, and it requires currently an opt-in from our data subject, our data recipient, communication recipient. So formally, we shouldn't be doing that without primarily having consent for such messaging. Having said that, we should look at it in a slightly more proportionate and deeper perspective. So there is a huge difference between a bank or other big institution, well, let's say a bank where I have a mortgage, who would like to send me an occasional card with greetings for my birthday or Christmas greetings, because then when I would receive it, I would be very unhappy. I would consider it basically reminding me that I've got some dues. It's purely business, no emotion attached, nothing like that. So from this perspective and such communication, I totally agree, this should be banned, unless express consent has been for such communication previously expressed. However, if we have business relations with specific people, individuals who we know, I've got clients, I've got also providers, other business partners, and I know these people personally, then sending this occasional Christmas card, which actually corresponds to our social customs, I consider it reasonable and permissible. And then we come to this problem of, first of all, proportionality, whether it's formally possible to reconcile it with the GDPR and these electronic e-privacy rules, and then these problems with proportionality, which I will also discuss. So, To make such communication compliant with the GDPR, what we would really need to do is to broaden the so-called home use exemption, because in this case we would need to say that it basically falls out of the GDPR, and if it falls out of the GDPR, somehow we would keep it outside of the privacy rules as well. When or how would it be possible? So we will get these, well, social relations, or whatever type of personal relations with people with whom we do business, okay? But we not only do business, we know each other. Then there is this huge emotional and personal part of this business. These are, as I said, personal relations. So from my personal perspective again, this personal relation part overcomes and actually should be considered as a decisive factor, allowing us to treat it as this home use exemption. It's obviously kind of artificial because it's not totally home, obviously, we know. But again, this would correspond to not only to the intuition, but to the way that we actually behave in the society. Because otherwise we would have to violate these rules of kindness and redefine certain social customs. So how to build this decisive factor, where to find where is this turning point? In my perception, this would be the human interaction and human involvement. If this is me who is building this list of persons to whom I would like to send something, then this is, well, it's not automatic data processing. The fact that this is sent at a later stage via computer, still it doesn't make it automatic. Oh, that's another way of going out of the GDPR. However, if it's being done automatically by a CRM, or even if there is artificial intelligence helping, and without me then checking, let's say, a certain number of people, which I really can check, well, 300, 200, 150, then it's fully automated, there is no strings attached, it's just business. Indeed, it should be prohibited under the current rules unless pre-agreed. And then we are moving towards the second thing, which is actually a bigger problem: GDPR and proportionality. So there is no proportionality in the GDPR. There is no real, the GDPR doesn't address the needs of SMEs, small and medium enterprises. In the provisions of the GDPR, there's only one mention regarding these needs of small and medium enterprises, and relate to, as far as I remember, certification schemes. So again, there is no proportionality in the GDPR. That leaves a huge room for administrative discretion. We are addressing it in our guide, with quite, let's say, sober, if not pessimistic observations. And the administrative bodies, supervisory authorities, are not really interested in pronouncing on this proportionality and giving us good insight and good hints and guidance regarding where something is proportional or not. Why so? It's because the supervisory authorities are afraid of one thing, of accountability. They wouldn't like to be held accountable to too specific guidelines and instructions they would be given, because it would limit their powers and their ability to respond to specific cases. In a nutshell, it's been put on the table by the current head of the European Data Protection Authority, Mrs. Andrea Jelinek, who, when asked for more guidance, responded, as far as I remember, it's the question, at what side of the table you're at. You don't have to do my tasks, don't expect me to do yours. You don't have to do my job, so don't expect me to do yours. Which is a perfect and very interesting explanation, and you don't need to check compliance with the GDPR, so don't expect me, who is obliged to check compliance with the GDPR, to tell you how you should comply with the GDPR. And that's an oxymoron. But anyway, so there is no proportionality. Then we are moving towards the final point, the question whether we should trust tradition. Well, first I said that if there is a nice social custom like sending Christmas wishes, this is a good thing, and it should somehow be upheld, unless it's a purely business practice. Having said that, I would say you shouldn't trust all the tradition. There was a tradition in one of the German cities. They were putting on the Christmas tree wishes from children, and there was a name of a child, age, what they want, and either their address or other contact details. The tradition, well, was prohibited also. So the municipality decided not to do it last year. In this case, it was a very good decision. Why? From a risk analysis perspective, what is this tree? Christmas tree with all the data of the children, what they want, what's their name, and where they live. It's actually a Christmas gift to who? And we need to use this word, to pedophiles. Which leads us from a GDPR perspective to a certain conclusion that obviously it is nice to try to uphold and verify existing traditions and customs, but at the end of the day, before you get to conclusions, first question everything. It's a very nice loop, but it actually tells you how you should approach with the rise of privacy and risk associated with the technology and disruption in technology that we are experiencing right now with the rise of AI. We should rethink and re-verify our practices to make them adjusted to the needs of the current information society. Thank you.